It's very clear all over the world that people are not happy with traditional education. Now, to be sure, some people are, and some of the research on experience of traditional education would suggest that about a third of kids, they're really well suited to that. Traditional education works very well for about a third of children. And about a third of children are sort of killing time until they get down the road and get to enter adult life and do something that might be more interesting. Yeah. And it also appears that, and this has certainly been my experience as a pediatric neuropsychologist, that traditional education really is a grinding experience, and a destructive experience for about a third of children. So about a third of children are cut out for it in that they thrive in a traditional education setting. About a third of children are killing time, and about a third are more or less destroyed by their experience in traditional education. That's appalling. We don't have the resources to basically squander as many as 2/3 of the children who are attend schools. And what traditional education was designed for may not be relevant so much in this era. People aren't going to enter the workforce and have a career and work at one place for the rest of their lives. People are going to have many careers, many jobs. That just seems to be the nature of how the world is changing. And what children need is the kind of broad scope ability to deal with new situations, size things up, and figure out a sensible way forward in any setting that they find themselves in. And traditional education really doesn't have much to offer that. I mean, the model of traditional education is we're going to teach you facts that we know have a half-life of about 1 year. Okay, so you remember a year later of all that stuff you learned for the tests that you took, a year later you can recall about half of it, and a year after that, about half of what's left over. It's dawning on people that education should be about the development of the person and really not about knowing things, specific, discrete facts. There should be something about knowing how to find out what facts you need to know, and I think that happens sort of as a byproduct in traditional education. But Montessori, I think it's becoming clearer anyway, that what Montessori is offering is a kind of wide-scope development of the human person and their consciousness, their brain. So what I would hope to see in 25 years, we are on a course right now that it seems very clear that traditional education as it's been defined is really running out of steam. It doesn't have what people need to be successful in the future. It doesn't have what our planet needs to be successful in the future. And more people are becoming aware of that. We're going to see other approaches to education become more popular and be seen as more relevant. What I would hope would be that over the next 25 years, people see that Montessori is just not one of a number of possible alternative educational approaches. It really is a fantastic educational approach.